Welcome to the Tough Decisions Network. This is your tip of the day. Be sure to visit toughdecisions.net to sign up for our free weekly entrepreneur email, where we send you news about the latest technology for your business, inspiring quotes, and the latest entrepreneur books. That's toughdecisions.net. Before we get started, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Have you ever thought about investing in real estate, but find yourself so busy that you don't have time for it? Do you have FOMO, which is the fear of missing out? At HandfordCapital.com, we help investors with passive real estate investments that project better returns than traditional investment vehicles such as the stock market. If you'd like to find out more about our passive real estate investments, visit HandfordCapital.com. That's HANDFORD capital.com. We will jump on a call with you to discuss your investment goals and to see if our investments are a good fit for you. This advertisement is not to be construed as an offer or recommendation to buy or sell a security. Visit HandfordCapital.com.
Thanks for joining me today. We are talking about some tips to use when you are leading your millennial employees. And today I want to just talk about one related to failure. You know, we've talked in the past about how a lot of times this millennial generation has not had a lot of opportunity to fail, or they haven't had a lot of chances to mess up. You know, many of them were, I would call them the victims of a helicopter parent, maybe two helicopter parents. And so they were constantly being sheltered and protected from even the smallest misstep. And so they don't want to fall. They don't want to fail. And one of the things that we can do to help them is to talk about our own failures and our own falls. As a parent myself, I have found that there's nothing my children would rather hear about than one of my own missteps or one of my own problems and the consequences of it. They eat that up. Now, maybe that's just the human inclination for a train wreck or the human desire to see someone else, mess up. Whatever it may be, it's a great teaching opportunity. It's a great teaching method. And it also shows our own humanity and allows them to realize that, hey, failing is kind of part of life and it's not something to be afraid of. I had the privilege of hearing my daughter say the other day, and she said it off the cuff, so she didn't even realize the impact that it was going to have for me, but she was talking about something that happened at school and my name had come up, and she's in the car and she says to herself, "My mom is awesome." Well, I was immediately taken back. That makes a mom feel really good. But what I thought about was, if that's how she feels about me, and then I can come in and also say, hey, this is where mommy messed up. This is where mommy took a wrong turn and made a bad choice, and these were the consequences, then that can be really impactful for her, because she's going to think mom's awesome, hopefully for a little while longer, regardless of what I could tell her about my failure. And I've told her about failures before, but by putting those two things together, she can realize that failing and messing up and making bad choices is part of life, but it doesn't have to be the defining part of our life. So talking to this millennial generation and these millennial employees about our failures is important, because they need to know that failing is part of life. And even if they, in their mind, have never failed before, they need to be prepared that it's going to happen. And for lack of a better way of saying, you can still be awesome despite a failure. You can still do a great job at a company and despite a wrong choice or despite a bad decision that maybe even had some negative consequences. It doesn't have to be the defining moment. And when it does happen, you don't have to lose, and here's that word again, all your self-esteem, because your self-esteem shouldn't be based on the fact that you've never messed up. I think it should be more a self-confidence based on our ability to work through an issue and come up with a strategy that does work. Not that you've never had a problem, but that you've faced a problem and worked through it. So be willing to talk about your failures, be vulnerable in front of this group, because they need to know that it's okay to make a bad decision. It's okay to have to deal with those consequences and work through them.
Thank you for listening to the Tough Decisions Network. Visit toughdecisions.net to sign up for our free weekly entrepreneur email. That's toughdecisions.net.